All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's Legacy, TokiTV. I'm so happy to have all of you here with us today. We're going to give people a few minutes to join. Christina and I were talking a minute ago. Facebook's a little weird right now on how we're sharing things. So I'm having to kind of share in the background to multiple different places. Hopefully to link us all in one chat. But I do want to thank everyone for being with us today. And while we're saying hello, you don't have pen and paper in front of you or some crayons or sketchbook, something, go get that. Go get that while we're saying hello. You can just put us on loud and hear our wonderful voices while you gather your art supplies, your pens and paper, please do. Um, let's go ahead and check in. Peggy, how are you?
Hi, Annette and everybody. I'm fine, thank you. It's a beautiful day here and hope that everyone else is enjoying some beautiful days as well, including Brandy, where she looks like she's in a cold place.
Yeah, let's check in with Brandy.
It
Brandy,
looks beautiful.
you're on mute, Brandy, but where are you?
There we go. Hey, I'm in Sk'aliCh'elh, Canada. The Salish Sea is right behind me. And we just had some eagles that flew overhead and some geese. My cousin moved here last week, so I've been here for 2 weeks. It's been awesome. So much Haida art in a lot of culture in this little peninsula. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. Awesome. Christina, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here. We got a little bit of snow last night as well. So it's kind of getting me in the, spirit of winter and stuff like that. So it's inspiring. And I'm ready because I got my pen and I got my markers and I got my paper and I got my postcards. So I hope everyone else is doing that. Go and get your stuff because we're going to have good time together today. Okay.
Awesome. Deb Cruz, how are you? Oh. Well, maybe she'll tell us in a minute how she's doing. Howard, let's go to you. Tell us how you're doing, and then do you have any updates for us on what the is doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. All's well here because it's raining. It's pouring rain, and that's what the rainforest loves. So all the forests are getting well watered everywhere. And in fact, this is the first of a few fronts coming in for the rest of the week. It's going to be raining and winding, apparently. So we have that to look forward to. Probably going to get some snow over the mountains to you, Christina. So that's all well and good. And the residents, after, was it 27 days in Puget Sound, have left. Yesterday, they took off. J's and K's. L's had already left back November 6th, I believe. So we have transients, our usual resident transients, T137s and the 65As, minus a few that split off and they go off on their own walkabouts. So we have our whales in the hood, and all is well. I am still mulling over. Hi, Ma. LPOD's visit to Penn Cove, November 3rd and 4th, actually from the 2nd through the 5th, because the whole sequence is so fascinating and it told me so much. I once again, these orcas will teach you if you watch and listen. And I have I've gained a whole new appreciation for their memory, their knowledge of what happened, and their ability to share that knowledge. Because L25 Ocean Sun was the only one who was actually a witness to what happened in 1970 and 71. And yet they all, certainly their behavior gave every indication that they knew, that they had that memory. They had heard those stories. They knew of the tragedy and the trauma that happened there, and they acted accordingly. And I think there's going to be a lot more to say about that. We're going to have a sort of a mini doc publication about it. And we'll be talking about, I think it deserves its own scientific paper to describe what happened, because I think it really shows some capabilities that, we hint about, we talk about, we think maybe, but I think they really showed it, that they have those memories and that they can share those memories, and that they perform ceremonies, because that's what I think we saw. And in fact, I've talked to Rosie Caillou, our spiritual advisor, and she relates very closely to what they did as a ceremony to lift the spirits that were lost there. So I think there's much more to say about that. But for now, we're just watching the rainfall. So all's well.
Awesome. Thanks, Howard. Ma, how are you?
Good, thanks. Sorry, my bad being late. Just had a crazy morning. Sorry, everyone, but wouldn't miss it.
I see that you're in your station, your creation station. That's what my wife calls her art room, the creation station. And it looks like you're ready to go there. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time. And I do want to acknowledge, one of the people. So Christy Harrison, we had talked a couple weeks back about like, hey, if you have some ideas you want to share, you guys have special guests you would like to see on here, send me their names. Like, this is everybody's show. And, you want to come on and be on screen with us and all that. And one of the suggestions was, I'm just going to read it. If you're looking for a topic for TokiTV, maybe one week if we could all just do some letter writing together. In other words, like a workshop where everyone comes out with a letter or a kit, coaching them through the different action items to be carried out. And in the end, all we need to do is some stamps. And we can share. So Christy Harrison, thank you for the idea for today. It's really important. And I look forward to today. And I do want to check in though. Deb Cruz brought some things to our attention. So before we get into the writing again, if you're just joining and you don't have your pen and paper, please go get it. It's really hard for me to tell right now the way things are being shared through StreamYard, how many people are actually watching, because there's like 5 different Facebook pages that it's being shared from. And I'll try to get a handle on that this week so that we all know the best way to share it, and then YouTube. So it's difficult to tell how many folks are on. But if you're on, comment, and then it should show up. I hope. But go get pen and paper, and but turn the volume on your computer or your phone while you're doing that, because I think what Deb Cruz is going to share is really important for us and the orcas, the Salish Sea in general. So Deb Cruz, what you got for us today?
Okay. Okay. So this apparently has been something that has been going on, but I had just recently heard about it, and there is some actions that you can take to help influence what's going down. Signal Peaks, which is an energy company who is conducting mining projects of Bull Mountain, coal mining particularly, Bull Mountain in Montana, has been trying to put forward a coal mining expansion project. In February, they were taken to court, and the U.S. District Court said, no, your environmental review is inadequate. You need to do a new one. What's happening right now is Senator Daines of Montana is trying to put through 3 bills that will circumvent the environmental study process and undermine the court decision for them to do a new EIS. Now, the reason that this is important to us is because Bull Mountain coal gets transported to West Shore terminals in British Columbia and go out on seagoing vessels to Asia through our Orca homeland. And so this is going to be one of many things that those of us in the Pacific Northwest are going to have to watch out for because of the current administration and congressional makeup is going to be pushing fossil fuels big time out. So those of us in the Pacific Northwest are going to have to gear up and be ready to fight again like we did, a decade or more ago against all of the different fossil fuel projects. And what the administration is also going to be streamlining and bypassing a lot of environmental studies and backgrounds checks and investigations and things like that. So this is one of those things. For those of you who can, I'm going to try to put all of the information in the chat so that you guys can go on to the next subject. But two of the bills are in the Senate House Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. Maria Cantwell is on that, and so is Ron Wyden in Oregon. So I'll put their contact information up, and if you guys would go in, number one, sign the petition that I'll put up, and then also if you can take a minute, and I'll put in a little bit of brief information to write to Cantwell and Wyden or the whole committee and tell them, nix it, don't do this. We need to include this, because what happens is the EISs generally only take place in Montana or in the area where the project is being done. They don't take a look at what's going on beyond that. So they're not looking at what's happening to the coal trains that are going to British Columbia. They're not looking at the vessel traffic that's going to be increased because the coal exports are going to increase our vessel traffic through the Sound. They don't look at that stuff unless we start calling their attention to it. So if you could get in there and take care of some of that. So I'll start plugging this stuff in, and you guys can move on with the next project.
Thanks, Deb Cruz. I think it'd be important, so let's get that information up. And then also, maybe we spend a little more time next week on just specifically on this topic as well. So let's get a jump start on it. But yeah, this is something happening. There's things happening that if we're not aware of, we can't do anything about. But when we're aware of something, we have to do something about it. So posting in our groups is wonderful. It keeps each other going. However, we have to start writing letters to those so that we're not just talking to the same group over and over. And also, like, I love sharing on social media, but someone near and dear to me has also shared this thought, and it comes to me all the time, like, how many of us are actually writing the letters? Are we posting telling other people to write letters, or are we also writing the letters and continuing to make those actions every single day? There's so many people, and yeah, Peggy, if you want to expand on that as well, but there's so many people in these groups. If we were all writing letters even just once, I mean, that's a ton of people to make a difference. So please, if you're watching, make a post yourself on your own page. You guys, we have to actually do the actions, not just encourage each other to do the actions. And I'll get off my little soapbox about that. But if anyone else wants to say anything about that, it's so important that we're making those actions. Go ahead, Peggy.
I'll get on the soapbox. Thanks, Annette. Yeah, I'm really encouraged when I see how many people are in these various groups for Tokite, like just I won't give any names or anything, but there are a lot of people. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people who cared about Tokite and were willing to do things to help her to, be returned to her home waters. And there are still thousands of people who I see as members of various groups that I've, kind of visited real quickly, who care about the southern resident orcas. And I'm not sure how seriously they understand the situation is. And right now we are at the most crucial time where we can take the most powerful actions to get these dams breached, because considering, as what Deb was sharing, that with this new administration president, things are going to get even tougher. So why not take the path of least resistance now and dedicate some energy into doing whatever we can, everything we can think of to help these southern residents, because extinction is forever. I can't reiterate it. And so I'm gonna read a couple of quotes, and I'm not trying to point fingers or anything, so just want to share though, because this is something that I've observed in, I guess, sort of human nature of what I've seen of people who say they care about something, but then I don't see necessarily as many people saying that they're taking action. And maybe they are, and they're not posting about it. But so here's a quote from Robert Swan, an author. "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." That one has really rang in, true to me as far as my observations over many years as an activist. Okay, but here's another one from Alice Walker. "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." And I believe that we all have power. We can empower ourselves and do something that is another step outside of convenience. We need to step beyond the convenience and step into action. And I strongly urge that people start taking the most powerful action now in this most crucial time, because later on now we have 2 months left before President Biden walks out of the White House. That's it. And we really, we have to allow for mail time and security clearance time. So I'm just urging everyone to do this now. And I have an idea that I wanted to share. As I've shared before, our webpage has a downloadable activist pack that makes it very easy to explain. There's a poster explaining reasons to breach the dams. There's another poster explaining a little bit about the southern resident orcas and how they do need food. They need Chinook salmon and the dams to be breached so that they can eat. And we also have the downloadable postcard pack. So with that, you can download this 4 up on a page and have it printed either on your own printer if it can handle cardstock, or take it to some place locally that does printing, like a UPS, FedEx type of store or print shop, and say, hey, will you print 4 sheets of this? And that would be 16 postcards. And I want to share, I don't have them with me at this moment. I went to an event and I got a couple of my friends to go with me. We had clipboards. We walked around the crowd and just walked up to them and said, hey, would you be interested in signing a postcard message to President Biden to breach the 4 Lower Snake River dams? And then if they ask further questions, we explain. And then we have the example literally 2 sentences that are the key sentences to write on this postcard to President Biden, because there's not a lot of space on a postcard to write a message, but the 2 most important sentences we offer and say, these are the 2 most important. Would you like to write at least the first one, which is urging President Biden to use his executive power, which he has, to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams. The second sentence is that scientists from NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, have acknowledged the need to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams in order to save the salmon and the orcas that depend on them. So it's really actually pretty simple to have this little short 2 sentences and then give them the postcard, have them write it, their name and their zip code if they don't want to put their full address on, to protect their privacy. And then I'm sending them out. And we had less than an hour during this event before the film screening that happened at this event. And between the 3 of us, we got 3 people that took postcards with them and pledged that they were going to do it at home, and 40 postcards. And then from other events, I managed to collect over 22 or something. And again, like when I talk about when we go to check the mail or when we get an email, there's so many emails that we get, and then the mail, the majority of the mail is, some real estate flyer or membership thing or a bill. It's never anything, not never. It's rarely something like a personalized message, like a handwritten card or postcard to ourselves, to us. So if we think about how special that is, that's how special it is to the recipients at the White House, to President Biden, to send handwritten messages. So let's do this. Oh, other idea. Thanksgiving is less than 2 weeks away. So people can warm up by printing out that activist pack and maybe even just going to work or wherever and saying, hey, would you like to do this? And then when it's Thanksgiving gathering time, which is sometimes families, it's friends, depending on whether you're going to get families, bring that activist pack, because there's going to be a lot of time to sit around and do stuff. So why not sit for 20 minutes and do postcards together? So that's one idea.
I love that because, people are getting together. So if you just have them printed, ready to go, everyone can just sit down and do that. And I was sharing as you were talking your page there, Peggy, and we'll put that up again while we're writing today, because you have the key things to say. The activist pack is so easy to download and share. So we'll put those back up while we're talking today. So thanks, Peggy,
Great.
for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Annette.
And then, I'm looking at Ma, and I think creativity, right? Like, we could be creative with it. So yeah, it could be a piece of paper and it could be a letter, or it could be super creative. So I'm just going to bring up, so like something like this, right? This gets people's attention. Key things to say on there, right? Key things to look up. And, so get creative today or tomorrow or the next day. Somebody posted they plan to send 48 postcards before January 20th. That is really, really awesome. I'm trying to find who sent. So Bonnie's going to send 48 postcards before January 20th. If you want to make a commitment, a typed in verbal commitment to the group, do that today. What are you committed to doing in the next month or till the end of the year? Let's get that going. Let's check in with Ma, and then we'll get to Christina to start our project.
Okay, I just wanted to say as well that I found a box of Christmas cards from the Whale Research Centre that I had left over. And I always think I don't want to resend them out in case people think, look how cheap she is, sending the same card every year. But what better way to send a message to President Biden, and especially this one, because on it says love and joy and shows the 2 orca, but underneath I've wrote and salmon. So it's love, joy and salmon. And then obviously on the card itself, all the reasons why he needs to do it, to sign the executive order, and also to start the work as soon as he possibly can. Because personally, I feel that if the executive order is started and the work starts straight away, when the orange guy gets in January, then he's not going to basically stop everything. He's just going to let that go. He's going to be too busy with everything else. So in my honest opinion, we need to be asking President Biden to sign the executive order and to start the work straight away, because this is now past urgent. This is critical. Now, we will fight if it doesn't happen. We know we will. We'll never give up on them. But it's going to be much easier to do it now than to wait and say, oh, well, we'll do it next year. Next year is going to be so much harder to do anything. And that's the honest truth. So anything you've got, Christmas cards, postcards, letters, you name it, even, from where you are, the state that you live. And I've got one from Florida that I've had for ages. I've got Easter cards. I'm sending everything. He's getting hit with the loss.
You're so cute, Ma. I love you. Yep. A couple of people are asking, Peggy, if you could post those statements in the chat. I'm trying to get them
Sure.
over from the activist pack, but yeah, we'll get those up and running. People are saying yes, great idea, Ma. Everyone's in alignment. So I think we're ready. From what I can tell, if I'm telling correctly from all the different groups that we're posting to, we have about 38 people watching right now. So there's no excuse. At least 38 letters going out in tomorrow's mail. So Christina, why don't you guide us on how to, or what we could do for suggestions here?
Well, my number one suggestion is to keep your mental thoughts positive, because that's really important. The same mental instructions happen constantly, and your brain grows every time you give it that positive affirmation. So when you are writing, or you're drawing, or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, you're downloading Peggy's activist pack, and you're getting your postcards ready, with every stroke of that pen, every little stroke of that pen, visualize Biden signing the executive order, because that is really powerful. It's really, really powerful. And I'm not trying to preach or anything, but that's really powerful for everything. You have to be careful what you say. Because words can be very, very powerful. So that's my advice about that. Sorry. But when you do, like Peggy said, anytime I ever have a group of people around me, I always have my stack of cards. And I just address them myself, handwritten, right? So the whole thing is handwritten, and I have my stamp on it. And I don't usually let anyone take them. They have to do it right then and there. Maybe a couple people I let take, but not usually, because I want to make sure that it doesn't get lost, or coffee got spilled on it, or whatever, right? So I always make sure that I have it ready to go. And Thanksgiving is a great time, because there are a lot of people, and everybody's just hanging out, and if you just do Peggy's, couple sentences, or a couple, that's not any time at all. So everyone can totally do that. Also, I went to my station the other day, and I did send you a picture of that again. I don't know if you can, because that's a really good one, because I got 16 cards this time. 16 cards, and it's I didn't even do anything except for set the box there. And people are just signing the cards and putting them back in the box. So I don't have it because it's there. So I don't know if you can show that picture again, Annette. Anyways, okay. Okay, well, it was really cute, and it was a box, and it had orcas on it, and Breach the Dams, and I had.
I will. It's going to take a minute, but yes, I will.
It's okay. It's okay. I just printed out Peggy's information, and it's sitting right there. And then I have another letter, like a longer one, but nobody did do that one. But they all did the short one. So see, the short one is really good because people are like, oh, okay, I can scribble this out really quick. And I got a whole bunch more, and I wasn't even there. So that's like really cool to me. So, you know, we still have time to do that. You can put that at your hairdresser or a cool shop that you go to that, you know, you kind of know the people there and they're into that. So, I mean, that's a really good idea, especially if you have a lot of time, right? To like go out and walk about and talk to people or go to the farmer's market or the Christmas bazaars. But that's another idea, going to Christmas bazaars, because those are all, or holiday bazaars, sorry. Those are all happening now, you know, so that's a great place to talk to people like Peggy with a clipboard, or set up a table, you know, with some signs, and just get people to come over and talk to you. And once they learn what's going on, they're totally willing to do this. I mean, really, everyone that I have come across, well, not everyone, but most everyone, they didn't know, and they were like, wow, oh my God, we love them. We don't want them to go extinct. So that's another great thing to do. Also, I sent you a picture of a postcard that I made, and it was a big giant postcard. I made that. Oh, that's another one. Okay, so there's one. That's the back. But just like what I do is I just print out stuff, you know, and I have stickers and I have stamps. Just, you know, they're maybe not the most beautiful things, but they're just like a little collage. And there's a long letter that I wrote to President Biden. That's the one side of it. And that's TokiTV and her 17 days of grief. And then I also put a little rip for poor little one that we just lost. But and the other side of that is just another collage, right? So I have been doing this for a long time, so I probably have a lot more supplies than other people because I have postcards that are like outdated, and I just cut them up and put them on. But you can still just take anything and print it out. And I use Mod Podge, you know, and I just put Mod Podge and just, that was just a piece of cardboard. I mean, I know but it's big, and that's what's cool, because that's like going across the country, right? This big postcard says President Biden, breach the dams, you know, save the orcas. So like anything that you can think of that's gonna get attention, right? And just regular old postcards, because postcards are excellent. They're small, they're fast, the stamp is cheap, and you know, everyone can write a couple of paragraphs on a postcard. And Ma's idea, Christmas cards, isn't that sweet? I think that's super sweet. But if we can, I think it's best to do the postcards. That's why I started doing like the big ones and doing like collages on them, because the screening time is like much shorter. So it just gets through faster. So what we should do is we should get our pens and our paper and our postcards, whatever it is that you got, and we should start writing our letter to President Biden. All right, does everybody have their pen and their paper? Okay, so I'm going to oh shoot, I just lost the letter. Hold on. Do you have the letter for from Peggy, so we can, oh yeah, there it is. Sorry. Yes, we need to write the letter that has just a couple of paragraphs on it. Dear President Biden, I lost the letter. Didn't she just put it in the chat? Hello?
Okay, just a minute.
I can repost her site.
I just had it.
I just threw in the paragraph there. So if you've got something else that you want to put up besides that. Go
So
ahead.
and I'll just read. It's not letting me copy from whatever, but here's the words. Please exercise presidential authority to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams as your legacy of saving the endangered salmon and orcas. So I'll say it again, and then if someone could type it, that'd be cool. So this letter is to President Biden. So somewhere in this letter, we need to say, please exercise. You can say presidential authority or your presidential authority. Please exercise your presidential authority to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams. Put it up here. As your legacy of saving the endangered salmon and orcas. And then Deb Cruz put it a little nicer and said, I am asking you to please use your executive powers as your lasting legacy to breach the 4 lower Snake River Dam. So something to that effect.
And hi, Annette. Thank you for reading that. I also made an even shorter version. The 2 very key sentences, if it doesn't, I like the one that you read because it doesn't include honoring the tribal rights. But because sometimes we're doing something like walking around an event and trying to ask people to do, something that's not going to be too involved, we have 2 sentences. There it is. There it is. Thank you.
All right, guys. So everyone should be writing. Obviously, you personalize it, add what you want to add, draw what you want to draw.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are key statements because that is the request, plea, demand, whatever you want to call it. This is what we need to happen.
And don't forget to visualize as you write that he is signing the executive order.
Don't forget that words like critical, now, endangered, those things, those are all very true and really important to include when we're writing these. So, those impact words, they're not words that we're making up to have an impact. We need to have an impact because they are hungry. This is their food that is critical. It is emergent. So use those words.
Thank
second.
you, Callie.
Love you.
Kelly.
Bye. Yeah, Kelly. If anyone wants to read theirs, we can. If you want to type up some stuff, you want to send me a picture of it, I'll put it up. I'll read mine while you guys are writing. Hopefully it's not too distracting. And does it sound repetitive? Absolutely. And it needs to. So, dear President Biden, I'm asking you to please use your presidential authority to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams to save our beloved southern resident orcas and Chinook salmon. Signing an executive order to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams is the only thing that can be done in order for the southern residents to survive. Please, President Biden, do not let this population go extinct. You have the power and authority to save them. On behalf of the only 72 southern residents left, I thank you for taking action on their behalf. I thank you for saving them from current starvation and eventual extinction. With so much hope, faith, and gratitude, Annette Martinez. If anyone else wants to read it.
Annette, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to read theirs, you go right ahead.
My letter is going to be rather long because it's going to go with the origami orca mobile that I'm writing. Not writing, almost done making.
Oh, Siamoet, I'm going to try to get her picture downloaded. Just sent hers. Thank you so much, Siamoet, for taking this time to write. I'm going to try to add the picture here. I don't know if I'm going to be cool enough to turn it not sideways, but we'll read sideways. How about that? It's loading. Dear President Biden, I'm asking you to please use your executive power as your lasting legacy to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams to save the critically endangered southern resident killer whales and Chinook salmon. And she put the other statement, NOAA scientists have confirmed this action as essential to saving the species. Thank you, Siamoet. Thank you so much, Siamoet, for writing, and not just for writing today, but I know you've been a big voice for so long for Toki and for the southern residents. We love you so much, Siamoet.
Yay. Thank you. Ooh, look at, yes, nice. All right.
Oh, let me see, Howard. Put that up again. Oh, nice.
That's Granny. Did you know that's Granny?
Yes. And that's a card by Sue Kochia.
Yep.
It's a beauty. And I write, Dear President Biden, I write to ask you to please use your executive authority to issue an executive action to breach the 4 lower Snake River dams, to honor tribal treaties, and to provide vital sustenance to the critically endangered southern resident orcas. Thank you.
Thanks, Howard.
There it is. The same whale. Except with the Free the Snake. That's what this should have, but that's good.
Got my envelope. I'm going to go ahead and address that now. So for those of you that are hand sending, oh, there we are. Thanks.
That's what I'm looking for.
You read my mind. Here we go. So the address. Hey, why is my envelope stuck closed? Hold on. They must have got wet. There's the address, guys. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20500. My envelopes are stuck. What happens when you have them ready to go?
Don't forget to say things like, this is your legacy. Leave a lasting, beautiful legacy. Like, you know, just trying to get him to do it. Be our hero, our champion. Anyways, that's what I do. Be our hero, be our champion. So we're going to talk about the video.
Yeah, let's see. Is everyone done addressing? If not, let's give them another 1 minute to wrap it up.
Okay.
So if you're not done writing, that's okay. Take a screenshot though of the screen right now so that you have the address at the ready, or write down the address and then you can finish your letter. I'm like, wow. So somebody's sending 48 postcards before January. I think I'm gonna, other people are putting their claims up there too as to what they're gonna do. I saw someone else posting what they were gonna do. Callie's going to send 14 more postcards next week, no later than Thursday. So
Yay,
here's,
Kelly.
here's what I want to offer. I'm going to go get a bunch printed up. If you can't, or you don't see yourself being able to do that before, printing your own postcards, or going out and getting stamps or whatever, if you send me a picture of your letter or an email, and I don't know if I have this email address up here, but it's TokiTV 2022. So TokiTV 2022 at gmail.com. There it is. Deb Cruz is like on it. I will either write a statement for you on your postcard, but please put at least your state and zip, so that's included. But if you send me a letter, then I will mail them for you. And everyone here on screen knows what a big deal that is for me, because I don't do post offices very often, but I will. And I know this group, I'm looking at Ma and Christina mainly, they will not let me get away with not going to the post office this week. So because we got to get these out. So if you're at home and you're like, yeah, I want to write the letter, but I'm not going to go get stamps, blah, 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 send it to me. Send it to me via messenger, email at TokiTV2022 at gmail.com. And Christy just
I'll do the same. I'll do the same.
Awesome. So yeah, send it to the email or to Christina via messenger. If you send it to me via email, I'm just going to give
I'm me. I'm in.
I'm going to give them the password to the I'm going to give them the password to the email, because then we'll make sure to get it. We just got one more.
Oh.
That was
That's great.
Look how cool that is.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really beautiful. That's from Christy Harrison. She's the one that
Oh, of course.
she's the one that suggested we do this letter writing day. So that's awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to make any claims? I mean, I'm thinking by Thanksgiving is what, a week and a half away, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll send 14 out myself, 14 more letters myself before Thanksgiving.
One.
I'm going to send out 25.
Three.
Brandy.
4,
I'm
5.
at your 25 and I'll send 30. No.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down, so I want pictures of these as they go out.
Okay. No problem.
I've got 7 to go right now.
Oh, nice. 7 ready
All
to go.
different sizes.
Oh.
Debbie has extra postcards, and she did some cool ones. She did the ones of the fluke. So Debbie's saying she'll put 3. She's gonna send some, drop her a message with the address, and she'll put some in an envelope for you guys as well. So see, guys, there's lots of people willing to help out to get these out. It has to be your words, has to come from you, but we will do the sending to make sure they get out. And
if you can, but hopefully you can, and you can get other people to do it as well, because that's kind of what we need. We need you to do it, and we need other people to do it. But if some people don't have extra money or whatever, or so, but hopefully you guys can.
We know time is time is tough for a lot of people. So let us do the sending for you. If you need the assistance, we will do that. Anyone else want to put in a number in their chat? Go right ahead on how many letters / postcards, how many mailers you're going to send this week. Dang, Christina's got 23 coming from the UK. Right on, Christina. For Christine
Wow.
Lewis. Sorry, Christine.
Nice.
Woohoo!
That's awesome. So just from what I'm hearing on the screen, we've got 50, 70, 80, 94. We have actually exactly 100. 40, the 40, what was it, 42, 48?
I have 40
Mine-
ready to go.
Oh, you have 42. So there's
And the other people who I gave them to, the one guy seemed like he was legit, and the other two is a couple that I know that are friends. So I trust that they're going to do it. They're going to do this.
that's
Yep,
awesome.
and I just said 16 on Friday. Just
Yay, great.
yep.
We're at over 200 on what's going to go out in the next 2 weeks. This is amazing. Let's keep doing it. And I mean, 200 every 2 weeks. I mean, I'd like to see 5, but that's just who's on screen. That's not even people who haven't seen this yet. So Debbie's sending 25. So good. This is really, really good. And this is by Thanksgiving. And you know, the power of visualization, like Christina said, is really huge. And it's also like we want to relate to this as it is done, right? We want to visualize him signing. So thank him. Thank him in advance. Thank you for signing the executive order. Thank you for saving the southern resident orcas. Thank you, you know, because he's going to and do whatever he can do, and we're going to thank him for that. So, all right, Christina, one more action we have coming up this week. So, I think we should do a little post about it too, to get more people. But videos, Christina, why don't you tell them what we're doing?
We're making a video for President Biden. What's so funny?
I
I don't know, it just sounds fun.
We are making a
We're
video.
making a video.
What are we saying? What are we telling? What's this?
To
What is
reach
this?
the dams now and leave a lasting legacy. Make it, you know, kind of short, like 15 to 30 seconds, right? And just ask him to breach the dams now and leave a lasting legacy. And you can tell him why. I mean, you know, just try to make it brief though, and then send it to anyone. But and that's the one actually making the video, because she's just super great like that. So I guess it's probably best to send it to her, right? But you can send it to me, you can send it to Mom. I mean, but sending it to Annette via Messenger on Facebook.
Yeah. So Messenger is good. Sorry, I'm playing the video in the background because I want to show you guys. But let me pause it real quick. Okay. Yeah. So Messenger is easiest, you guys. If you can send it to me via Messenger, you can either send it to me or to the TokiTV Messenger page. But if you want to send it to the email and that's just easier, go ahead and do that. TokiTV2022@gmail.com. I will say I have to come sit down at my computer to get those, and that's fine. I will. But if you send it to me by phone or Messenger, I could just download it and I can just start. I've already started creating the video, so I can just keep adding to it as it goes. But whatever is easiest for you guys. So Messenger, if you have my phone number, send it to my phone if you want, or TokiTV2022@gmail.com. There you go. If you have my other personal email address, you already know it. Feel free to send it there as well. I'm gathering them from all over the place. But look at this little cutie patootie right here. See, let's see what Sweet Leo is saying here.
Mr. President, bitte retten Sie die Orcas. Mr. President, bitte retten Sie die Orcas.
Isn't he sweet?
Oh.
Please send That's our sweet Leo, Maria, and Elias's sweet boy that we got to spend time with on San Juan Island. It just, my heart, just beautiful. Yeah. However you want to do the video, let's share one more. Yeah. Let me see if I can. If you got people to do it from other countries, other languages, let's do that. Okay. That's always good too. So here, see what Ula's saying.
Sehr geehrter Mr. President Biden, ich möchte Sie bitten, den Southern Resident Orcas zu helfen, da sie am Verhungern sind. Bitte öffnen Sie die Dämme im Staate Washington. Es gibt nur noch 73 von unseren Orcas. Sie brauchen den Chinook Salmon, um zu überleben. Vielen, vielen Dank. Bitte helfen Sie uns.
Yeah.
And
So-
we have a few more too. And
Thanks,
by
Ellen.
Wednesday is the deadline. So we got to get those in by Wednesday so we can get this video done and get it off to him, because this is for him to breach the dams. And as you're saying it, visualize it, think about it, bring about it. It's like, it really works. So we're going to do it. He's going to breach the dams. I know it. Yep. Gonna do it.
All right, guys. Tough times. We know that. We know there's tough times. We know there's a lot of, but like somebody very wise said recently, it's not the time to throw up our hands. It's the time to roll up our sleeves. And we all know who said that. And we need to do that. We need to do that. You guys, this group, we got to keep fighting for Toki's family. We do. As always, I'm going to close with Howard. And then I know it's already like way past our time. So I appreciate all of you for hanging out. But Howard, let's close out the show. I'm going to let you do it.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is wonderful. This is what we need to do, grassroots, and make our voices heard. So I appreciate everyone doing it. And we will try to keep you tuned in to where the whales are, what they're doing, what they're up to, and what do we know about them, or what can we learn from them. And I wish you all well. Happy Thanksgiving.